Hi, this is Sandra. Welcome again to my channel, Summa Cum Flawed, where failure is not a highway to hell, but a springboard for success. So I'm here again this evening at 11:42 p.m. with another fail vlog. I'm going to try to keep this brief because your girl is tired. I'm very tired, y'all. It's been a very long day. But this evening I had the honor to attend an event where Richelieu Dennis, the founder of SheaMoisture and the CEO of Sundial Brands, he was speaking at this event. And a friend of mine, really good friend of mine, we've been friends since high school. She invited me to this event, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to go at first because it was after work. And whenever I get back home from work, I just want to stay in my room all day, go to sleep, do nothing, chill. But this event, I really just felt the need to go. And I just felt like, okay, it's really close to where I live. Why not? So I ended up going. And I don't really know how to describe it. I'm still processing. But it was such an interesting experience. So what happened was I got there and I waited, and I got there early enough to partake in this small group discussion session with Richelieu Dennis. But beforehand, there was networking, so I got to talk with a few people. I connected with some really cool people, which for me personally is always really refreshing. I think I because I identify as an introvert, there are times when I feel like, oh man, I guess I have a little bit of insecurity around my ability to connect with people and to really just have meaningful conversations and not be awkward. That is something that, I struggle with a little bit, but it just felt really natural. It felt really great. Yeah. And I enjoyed just hearing about the things that people are doing, entrepreneurially, in their personal lives, things like that. I really enjoyed it. So then after that, we had, I guess I'm going to launch into the fail portion of it now. I'm going to try not to rant, but if I rant, sorry. So we were given the opportunity to write down questions in the hopes that Richelieu would answer them. And I wrote down my question, and it was about failure. And I was really hoping that my question would be picked. And I was dogged about it. I'm telling you, I was asking, I was telling him, hey, please, can you make sure he answers my question? And of course, my question was not selected. Let me backtrack a little bit because I want to share something cool that happened. So before we even got into the question and answer section, we had the opportunity to sort of pitch our businesses. So I ended up pitching Summa Cum Flawed, and I was really nervous, guys, because I didn't have a planned out elevator pitch. I wasn't really sure of what I was going to share, but I felt the need to share what it is that I'm currently doing and working on, even though it's not fully fleshed out, and even though it's still in the infancy stages. And I'm really proud of myself for doing that. So I got to do that, and now I'm gonna jump back to the question and answer section. So yeah, so we were given the opportunity to ask questions. My question did not get picked, and I really wanted him to answer my question. And my question was basically just about a failure in his life that he experienced that was painful in the moment, but later served as a springboard for success. And I wanted him to answer that question because I think that there is power and there's beauty in storytelling, especially when we tell stories about hard things like failure. There's something so powerful and redemptive about it. I know even in my own personal life, I think back to times that I've heard people that I really respect in various arenas, whether it's business, whether it's ministry, education. People have spoken about failures and how they worked through it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and how it helped them to grow and how it served a purpose for their subsequent success. I live for those stories. I love those stories because it instills and inspires hope. So I was really hoping to hear him answer that question, because I think that we as business owners, we as human beings need to hear about somebody who is now successful, who has overcome failure at any scale. I think that's so important. So wanted him to answer that question. He didn't. So I was told by the organizers of the event that that the questions would most likely be answered in the larger group setting, because after the small group discussion, we then moved to a different location where there were more attendees. So he gave his whole, background and context, and then there was another question and answer section. I texted my question several times. I had a friend of mine who texted a question after me. Her question was answered, mine was not. And they kept saying, oh yeah, we exercise patience, we received your question. They never asked my question. And that was a fail to me, even though I had no control over that circumstance. It was a fail because I didn't get the opportunity to have him share an anecdote about failure. But here is how I'm reframing this failure. And y'all can call me crazy if you want to. I really don't care. But I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I believe that I didn't get my question answered because I will have an opportunity to one day speak with Richelieu Dennis, have an actual conversation with him. Okay, I'm speaking that into existence right now. Whether it's on a future podcast episode and I get to interview him, or whatever, I'm gonna talk to this guy. And if you're watching this, Mr. Richelieu Dennis, first of all, thank you for your time. Thank you for speaking to us this evening. I learned a lot. And also thank you for being warm and kind, because let me just say, I've just heard so many stories of people who have met like celebrities or inspirational figures, and it's like we build up this ideal in our heads of what they're like, and then we meet them in real life and it's like, dang, they're not who I thought they would be. But you, sir, were very warm, very personable, very nice. Like, this guy actually gave me a hug. Like, what? I was like, dang, like, I held out my hand for handshake because I was like, oh, let me keep things professional. He was like, give me a hug. I was like, wow, such a nice person. Anyway, so thank you, Mr. Richelieu. And I just want to say, yeah, one day I will interview this guy, and it's going to be great. And I'm going to get all the details, full story on just how he has overcome failure in building SheaMoisture and other ventures, because I think it's something that people need to hear. And there's power in vulnerability. There's redemption in failure. And so, yeah, what are my lessons learned from this experience? Sometimes people promise you things, like they promise to read my question, and it doesn't happen. And so when things like that don't happen, rather than get offended, which I'm not going to lie, I was like 10% offended, because I was just like, come on, y'all, it's not that hard to get my question answered. But you know what? Maybe that's me being entitled. I'm not going to lie. But it's like when somebody promises you something, how can you not be entitled? Well, that's something for another day, something to consider, something I'm still thinking through. But anyway, what was the lesson? I think I was talking about when you are disappointed. I forgot, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm tired, as I said. It's 11:51. All I'm trying to say is that from this experience, I've learned that it's important to just keep it moving when you face minor disappointments. When somebody promises you something and you don't get it like you expected, keep it moving and trust that greater opportunities await you. I believe that I will cross paths with Mr. Dennis again, and it's going to be in an even better context than this evening. This evening was just the beginning, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity. There's something really powerful about being in a room with someone, at the table of conversation with someone who has overcome so much and achieved so much and is now working to empower others. And there's just something so wonderful about being able to see someone of tremendous power and influence as a regular human being. It's great. Like, I feel like this small group discussion really humanized him, and made him very relatable. And I think that's great. I think that's an experience that everyone should have, to be able to talk to a multi-billionaire and have them be so accessible. It just, I don't know how to describe it. I'm still processing once again, but I'm just grateful for the opportunity. So yeah, I just want to encourage you, especially business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives, people who are building something. You're trying to take a mission or a vision and like make something tangible out of it. I want to encourage you to keep moving, to remain persistent, even when like little seemingly trivial disappointments come along. Don't let that stop you. Just keep going, keep moving, be tenacious. I love the word tenacious. Tenacity is key. And yeah, I'm really sorry once again if this didn't make sense. You know, I don't really edit my videos like that. One day I will, just that day is not today. But I just wanted to share from the heart, be real and raw with you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, whatever time of day it is that you're watching this. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. It's my call to action. Like, comment, subscribe. When you subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications for these videos. And share, if this is helping you at all, if this is, encouraging you, just share with somebody that you care about. Get the word out, and let's build a community where we can really push each other forward, and achieve our dreams and our goals. So yeah, thanks for watching. You're awesome. Have a good night. Bye.